In the beginning of the drama, we see the female lead Lin Hua, who after finishing school was going to her home by metro. While sitting there, she notices that on a seat a little far from her sits Jian, who is the male lead of the drama. He has been Lin Hua's secret crush for a very long time. The moment she sees Jian, she quickly sends a message in her friend group that today Jian is in the same metro as her and is sitting only a little distance away. That means she is simply flexing in front of her friends that she is traveling with her crush in the same metro. After that, when Jian's stop arrives and he is about to get down from the metro, suddenly his bag gets stuck in Lin Hua's keychain by mistake. As he pulls his bag, Lin Hua's keychain falls down and breaks because it hits by his foot. Because of this accident, Jian politely says sorry to her. Since both of them are wearing the same school uniform, Jian asks Lin Hua about her class and section, so he can return the favor by giving her a new keychain. Lin Hua tells him her details, but she refuses to accept a new keychain because the broken one was already very old, and she says she does not really need a replacement. Next day, in the morning, when Lin Hua reaches school, her friends Malin and Yun Mei are talking only about Jian. He is a popular and handsome boy in their class, and many girls have already confessed to him, but he has rejected them all. Meanwhile, another friend Ming notices that something is missing from Lin Hua's bag and asks her about it. Hearing this, Malin and Yun Mei start teasing Ming, saying that he observes Lin Hua too closely, almost like a boyfriend. Feeling shy and embarrassed, Ming leaves from there. On the other hand, Malin and Yun Mei advise Lin Hua that she should confess to Ming because affection between them is clearly visible. However, Lin Hua only sees Ming as a childhood friend from middle school. She admits that she has never felt that special feeling of love for him. In the next scene, Lin Hua steps outside her classroom and unexpectedly meets Jian, who hands her a brand new keychain and quietly leaves. Seeing this moment, Ming feels jealous and comments that the keychain does not match Lin Hua's personality at all. After that, while Lin Hua waits for the metro, Jian again comes and sits near her. She secretly keeps noticing his facial features and wonders how he would look while smiling. Jian suddenly tells her that if she does not like the keychain, she can remove it. But Lin Hua explains that since it is a gifted keychain, it has become special for her, and she will value it properly. Hearing this honest answer, Jian smiles softly. Seeing his smile for the first time, Lin Hua feels something completely different inside her heart. She realizes she is slowly developing real affection for Jian. Next day, in the morning, Lin Hua starts reading fashion magazines so she can become more girly and maybe look attractive in Jian's eye. On the front page of one magazine, she sees a model, and Ming reveals that the model is actually his older sister. After that, while thinking deeply about Jian, Lin Hua accidentally bumps into two students, Yutaro and Miyoshi, and hurts her leg badly. Because of this, they take her to the school medical room. There she confesses to Mr. Singh that she likes someone and got distracted. He gently advises her to understand her feelings and give herself time. Lin Hua gets her nails painted by Malin and asks her how she would know if she is in love with someone. Malin starts explaining to her what she might be feeling. After that, Lin Hua goes home by metro, where Jian meets her and has saved a seat for her. Then he sits with her. Accidentally, Jian falls asleep and they both get close, but then Jian's stop arrives. Lin Hua has to wake him up, but his stop has already passed, so he says that after dropping Lin Hua home, he will come back. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Ming is at a restaurant with his older sister Mayoka. Mayoka tells him that if he does not confess his feelings quickly, someone else might do it first. That means Ming truly likes Lin Hua but lacks courage. At night, Jian drops injured Lin Hua to her home, where he says a line to Lin Hua. From this she understands that he was even intentionally missed his own stop just to drop her home safely. When she realizes this, she feels extremely happy and touched. Next day, Ming finally confesses his feelings to Lin Hua. However, Lin Hua apologizes and honestly says that she likes Jian. But then Ming reveals a shocking truth: Jian already has a girlfriend, and that girlfriend is actually his own older sister Mayoka, leaving Lin Hua completely stunned. He says Lin Hua that she should not approach Jian, but even then, she says that if the person she likes is already dating someone else, her feelings will not suddenly disappear just by knowing that truth. That is why she cannot accept Ming's proposal. Hearing this, Ming says he feels the same way. Even if Lin Hua likes someone else, his feelings will not change, and he will patiently wait for her. After that, Lin Hua leaves from there, and Ming feels very sad because since middle school, he has liked only Lin Hua and no one else. Meanwhile, Suri comes there and tells Ming that for a long time she thought that maybe he and Lin Hua liked each other, so she was trying to bring them together. But the real truth is that she herself likes Ming, and only because of Lin Hua, she was never able to confess her feeling. Now that Lin Hua has clearly said she does not like Ming, Suri wants to finally confess to him. Hearing this, Ming is completely shocked and does not know how to respond at that moment. On the other hand, we see Lin Hua in the metro again, because this time too she has taken the same metro as Jian. When Jian comes and stands in front of her, she immediately starts smiling at him, and now she is able to clearly feel affection for him. That means she has understood that she is ready to confess her feelings to Jian. So when Jian gets down at his stop, she also follows him. Feeling extremely happy, she finally confesses that she likes him, because this is the first time she has felt something like this for anyone, and Jian is her very first crush. But as soon as she tells him, Jian rejects her and says that he already has a girlfriend. Lin Hua tells him she already knows that, but she just wanted to confess her feelings honestly. She also says that she wants to remain his friend for now. After that, Lin Hua shares everything with Suri and explains that instead of never talking to Jian, it is better to stay friends. Suri also tells Lin Hua that she confessed her feelings to Ming too, but he has not given any answer yet. Hearing this, Lin Hua asks if Suri will hate her because Ming liked her. Suri says Lin Hua is her best friend, so she can never hate her. Both of them hug emotionally and feel relieved. Next day, in the morning at school, Lin Hua keeps thinking about how she should talk to Jian. Just then, Ming comes and says good morning casually, and Lin Hua suddenly gets an idea about how to approach Jian. Meanwhile, Suri also tries to talk to Ming, but he feels awkward and leaves quietly. On the other hand, when Lin Hua sees Jian coming toward her from a distance, she hides behind a wall and practices how to say good morning to him. But as she steps forward, instead of Jian, Endo appears in front of her. Endo asks her if she was the one who proposed to Jian at the station yesterday, because he was in the same metro and saw everything. Hearing this, Lin Hua feels embarrassed because other students also heard the story. She runs to her classroom and hides her face behind the curtain. Later, the class teacher enters and adds Lin Hua to the school beautification club because she was not participating in any activity. But as soon as she goes to the club, the first person she sees is Jian. She becomes extremely nervous and loudly shouts hi to him. Jian is slightly shocked at her reaction. Endo also comes and sits beside her. She asks if he is Jian's friend. Endo explains that he and Jian were in middle school together, so he knows him well. He slightly criticizes Jian for rejecting and ignoring her, but Lin Hua defends Jian, saying he was just behaving normally so she would not feel awkward. Then Endo even takes her social media handle so he can talk to Jian about her later. At night, Lin Hua keeps thinking about Jian and his kindness, wondering how she could ever think badly of him. Next day, Endo watches a group of girls upstairs whom Jian had rejected before. Suddenly, those girls bring Lin Hua to them and start gossiping about Jian. But Lin Hua boldly takes Jian's side and stops them from spreading rumors. Seeing this, both Endo and Jian are shocked because Lin Hua is usually very quiet, yet today she bravely faces the bully. After school, Jian goes home with his girlfriend Mayuka. Meanwhile, Endo takes Lin Hua with him, intentionally introducing them to Mayuka and even joining them for lunch. When he notices Mayuka is not eating, he asks why, and Mayuka explains that she is a model and must strictly maintain her diet for work. This makes Lin Hua pause mid-bite of her burger, feeling a little embarrassed. Then Mayuka starts praising Jian, saying that although he looks so serious and strict, he is actually very kind inside. After that, the four of them leave to go home. When the green signal comes, Mayuka and Endo quickly hold hands and cross the road, but Lin Hua stays behind with Endo. Using the excuse of adjusting her shoes, Endo delays her even more, which causes the signal to turn red. Then he tells Lin Hua that they should not go to the other side of the road. Saying this, he grabs her hand and leads her away, while Jian watches them from a distance. Later, Lin Hua asks Endo why we ran ahead and left them behind. Endo says he could not see Lin Hua feeling so sad and lonely. At the same time, he warns her not to like Jian too much, because he was only hurting her. But Lin Hua tells him that he will only understand when he is in the same situation himself. The next day, Jian talks to Endo and tells him to stay away from Lin Hua because she is not some fling for him. But Endo refuses to let Jian interfere with their relationship because Jian had already hurt Lin Hua by rejecting her, and now he was hurting her again by ignoring her. Meanwhile, one of Endo's friends invites him home, but he rejects her and walks away. Soon after, Lin Hua arrives, and the same bad girls push her down and leave, mocking that how can she defend a boy who rejected her. Then Ming arrived there, but feeling deeply hurt, Lin Hua walks away without even talking to Ming. After Lin Hua leaves, Suri comes to Ming, asking for an answer, but he is too worried about Lin Hua to respond. Later, Lin Hua tries to talk to Jian in the school club, but he is angry and completely ignores her, not even glancing her way. Feeling emotional, Lin Hua starts crying. Seeing her cry, Endo tries to console her, but accidentally kisses her on the forehead. Embarrassed, Lin Hua runs out of the club, and Endo chases her to apologize. However, at the same time, Jian hides Lin Hua in the lab so he can hide her from Endo and come close to each other, replaying a scene from earlier. When Endo meets Sayuri and Lin Hua, he realizes the bullies were bothering her, so he wants to help her. But Sayuri interferes, so Endo asks for her social media handle. Then Ming arrives and stops Endo from doing it. Lin Hua notices that Ming is becoming possessive over Sayuri, meaning he likes her now and has received a positive response, which he could not say directly. Jian protects Lin Hua from Endo, but when she asks him why he is avoiding her, Jian explains that she was annoying him a little, so that is why he acted distant. Jian returns to his work, where Endo admits his mistake about the accidental kiss. Angered, Jian tells Endo to stay away from Lin Hua. The next day at school, Lin Hua hears some girls talking badly about her again, but this time, Jian defends her. Lin Hua realizes that Jian is avoiding her only so that the other girls do not say anything wrong seeing them together. She warns them, and also him, not to let the bullies ruin their friendship. Jian smiles at her, and Lin Hua finds another reason to like him. She becomes so happy that she forgives Endo for his mistake, realizing that everything between her and Jian is now fine. After that, Lin Hua goes to class and receives more good news. Sayuri and Ming have officially become a couple. She feels very happy for them. A few days later, Lin Hua gets her math test result. She is a little worried because her marks were low and she needs a retake, so she sits in the library to study. Then Miyoshi and Jian arrive. Jian is there to help Miyoshi study, and he also adds Lin Hua to the group study. Soon, Miyoshi has to leave for an assignment, leaving Lin Hua and Jian alone. Lin Hua feels extremely happy, wishing that time would slow down because she wants to stay with him longer. She compliments him, saying that he looks like a god of math because of how intelligent he is. Later, when the math test results come, both Miyoshi and Lin Hua pass. Overjoyed, Miyoshi gives Jian and Lin Hua an offer. His cousin recently opened a cafe, and they can now work their part-time job. And Endo joins them too, and the three of them enjoy their time together. When they are free, Jian quickly leaves to meet Mayuka, and Lin Hua goes home with Endo. On the way, Endo tells her that she can move on from Jian because if she keeps holding onto one-sided feeling, it will only hurt her in the future. Meanwhile, Mayuka asks Jian why he started working part-time, since before he was not interested. Jian explains that he just wanted to save a little money so he could go on a trip with Mayuka after exam. But in truth, he was really working so he could be close to Lin Hua. The next day, Lin Hua is in the schoolyard feeding her cat when Jian, Miyoshi, and Yutaro arrive. Jian starts helping Lin Hua feed the cat, and Miyoshi and Yutaro leave for the classroom. Noticing that Jian is acting differently with Lin Hua, they wonder if he might be starting to like her. Meanwhile, Ming shares with Sayuri that his parents are divorcing and his dad is planning to remarry. Ming is happy about it, but Mayuka does not accept it, believing their family should stay together. After that, Jian waits with Lin Hua for her metro. Lin Hua gives him some candies to try and tells him that she always dreamed of going on a bakery date with her boyfriend to taste lots of sweets. She asks if Jian ever goes on dates like that with Mayuka, and he says no because Mayuka is a model and does not eat sweet. Later, the four of them go to their part-time job. Endo makes coffee for Lin Hua and apologizes for interfering too much the day before. He also asks if Jian was her first crush. Lin Hua changes the topic and asks him who his first crush was. Endo says that in middle school, the girl he dated was his first crush, but now he has started liking someone again, and he was actually talking about Lin Hua. Lin Hua does not realize it at first, but says she hopes Endo will find the girl he likes. Later, when Jian and the three leave the cafe, Mayuka comes to pick up Jian. Endo offers her to come inside and try the sweet, but she says Jian does not like sweets and that she is also on a diet. Lin Hua realizes that Jian accepted the sweets because she offered him. The four of them go to have lunch together. At the same time, Lin Hua and Jian smell the weather and comment that winter is coming quickly from autumn. Mayuka feels slightly awkward and holds Jian, saying she wants to discuss something personal with him. Also, Endo and Lin Hua walk away. Endo tells Lin Hua that as long as Jian has a girlfriend, he will not even look at her, so they should date each other a little to make Jian jealous. Endo also confesses that he likes Lin Hua and that they should try a bit of romance. Lin Hua is shocked to hear this, but she clearly refuses him. He explains calmly that a time will come when her feelings for Jian will go beyond just liking him, and at that moment, she will feel very hurt because Jian will still be with Mayuka. That's why Endo tells her that he is only waiting for her answer because he will be there for her when that time comes. The next day, Sayuri is sitting with her friends, flipping through a magazine, when she notices a beautiful necklace she likes. And after Sayuri leaves, Ming secretly checks the necklace because he has planned to give it to her as a special Christmas gift. The necklace is slightly expensive, but he wants to make it meaningful and memorable for her. Meanwhile, Lin Hua is in the schoolyard feeding her cat, enjoying a quiet moment when Jian arrives. As he passes cat to Jian, Lin Hua accidentally slips and falls onto him, and he accidentally kisses her forehead. Shocked and embarrassed, Lin Hua quickly steps back and walks away, her face flushed. Endo sees this from a distance and feels a little jealous, noticing how close Lin Hua has become to Jian. Lin Hua herself feels nervous, realizing how intense her feelings are growing. Later during lunch, Lin Hua notices that Jian looks unusually stressed and worried. She gently leads him to the medical room, where they discover he has a high fever. Following Mr. Singh's advice, Lin Hua carefully applies a cooling patch to Jian's forehead and advises him to rest properly. She also decides to cover his part-time shift for the day, showing her dedication and care. That evening, while leaving the cafe with Endo and a coworker, Lin Hua worries about walking home alone with Endo. When the coworker asks for Endo's scarf, he politely refuses, saying he feels cold. Once the coworker leaves, Endo and Lin Hua are alone. He gives her the scarf, telling her softly that he is kind and caring only to the girl he truly liked. The next morning, Lin Hua meets Jian while walking to school. Jian thanks her again for covering his shift and even gives her extra tuition lesson. On the metro, Lin Hua, half asleep, accidentally leans on a stranger's shoulder. Gently, he lets her rest her head on his shoulder and intentionally misses his stop. When Lin Hua wakes up, they have reached her stop. She apologizes for making him late, but Jian laughs softly and says he dozed off too. He drops her outside the station, but Lin Hua follows, insisting on keeping him company because it was happened just because of her. But Jian refuses and started to walk away. But Lin Hua starts coming behind him. She calls him and says she wants to give him company. On the stairs, she slips again and accidentally hugs him. Both freeze, feeling awkward, and Jian quickly steps back, leaving Lin Hua to realize that Endo's warning was correct. She is getting dangerously close to Jian, despite knowing he has a girlfriend. Meanwhile, Sayuri and Ming meet their father. Ming's dad is transferring to another city, and Ming must move with him. He meets Sayuri to say a heartfelt goodbye. Sayuri gets emotional and says she will also go with him, and they will do part-time jobs and buy a cheap apartment. But Ming doesn't want this, by explaining that Sayuri has her own dreams, and she has dreams of becoming a professional nail artist, so he didn't want to distract her. He gives her a beautiful necklace as a keepsake and says a final goodbye. The next day, neither Ming nor Sayuri come to school. Lin Hua calls Ming and learns about their breakup just because Ming was going with his father. She goes to meet Ming and advises him that if Sayuri and Ming truly love each other, he shouldn't break up with her like that, even if he is making this decision thinking he is being mature. He should give her time and communicate properly. Ming understands and goes to talk to Suri. Before leaving, he tells Lin Hua that his sister Mayuka is going through a tough time and really needs Jian. He wants Lin Hua to give them some time and space, and Lin Hua nods, deciding she needs to slowly let go of her feelings for Jian, because liking him while he already has a girlfriend, if they got too close, is completely wrong. Meanwhile, Jian meets Mayuka, and she becomes emotional, hugging him tightly. Jian promises that he will never leave her alone and will always support her. At the same time, we see that Jian is also thinking about Lin Hua. When he was in the medical room, he had told Mr. Singh that being with Lin Hua feels completely different. He can be his true self, feel comfortable and happy around her in a way he doesn't with anyone else. Flashback: 2 years ago, Jian met Mayuka when her family was going through a lot of problems. She used to sit alone near her apartment playground. One day, a police officer noticed her sitting alone, and when she saw Jian, she told him that he was her brother and that she was waiting for him. From that day on, Jian started meeting Mayuka every day. When her parents got divorced, she became very upset, and Jian confessed his feelings to her, promising that he would never hurt her or leave her alone. This made Mayuka trust him completely. In the present, Lin Hua is working at a cafe when Miyoshi's brother asks if she wants to become a permanent worker. She agrees because she feels Jian might do the same. But then, Rasuko joins the cafe and Miyoshi tells Lin Hua that Jian is planning to quit soon. Rasuko will take his place, which makes Lin Hua a little sad. Endo notices this and meets Jian alone, telling him that he had confessed his feelings to Lin Hua. Endo wants to see Jian's reaction to know if he likes Lin Hua or feels jealous, but Jian doesn't respond and walks away. Meanwhile, Ming apologizes to Sayuri and tells her that he doesn't want to break up. He wants to make the best decision for both of them. Sayuri returns the necklace and says she will take it on Christmas Day, meaning she doesn't want to break up either. They hug, and the next day, everyone learns that Ming is staying with his mom and Mayuka, not moving with his dad. Sayuri also tells Lin Hua that this time she will be serious in her relationship because last time, when she dated her middle school classmate, she took him for granted, which caused a quick breakup. This time, she won't repeat the same mistake with Ming. Meanwhile, Mayuka is on her shoot when the manager offers her an audition on Christmas Eve. She agrees, but forgets that she was supposed to meet Jian that day. She calls him, explains, and apologizes. Jian takes the metro, and Lin Hua is waiting for him. Today, Jian is in a bad mood because his Christmas plans with Mayuka were cancelled. Lin Hua asks why he is working and about his plans, and Jian says he is doing everything for Mayuka so she can have time. This makes Lin Hua feel that there is no space for her in his heart. The next day, Lin Hua goes to the cafe, and Miyoshi asks about her crush. She doesn't tell him Jian's name. Endo comes over and asks if Miyoshi likes Lin Hua, but Miyoshi says no. He just wanted to know if Lin Hua and Jian are close because they look good together. Later, during lunch, Endo sits with Lin Hua. He knows she is worried about seeing Mayuka and Jian together. To cheer her up, he makes her laugh. Lin Hua slowly realizes that he was right, and she is starting to forget her limits with Jian. Endo holds her sleeve and tells her that if she gives him a chance, he will always hold her hand and likes her more than Jian. Lin Hua is speechless and doesn't know what to say. Meanwhile, Ming goes on a date with Sayuri and then returns home, where he meets Mayuka. He asks about her and Jian's date. Mayuka explains she was at an audition, and Jian understood the situation and didn't get upset. Ming tells her that Jian might have felt hurt because, like all high school boys, he is still young and learning to handle feeling, yet he acted mature. Mayuka realizes that she had treated Jian unfairly. When she understands this, she calls him, but Jian talks to her normally, without any anger or resentment. The next day, Mayuka goes to meet him again, but when she sees Jian working at Miyoshi's cafe with Lin Hua, she leaves quietly, without trying to meet him. Meanwhile, Jian goes to drop Lin Hua home. Lin Hua thanks him because he only came to help her with her shift. He wishes her a happy new year and then meets Endo. Here, we learn that Jian had quit his cafe job to stay away from Lin Hua, even though he liked her secretly. But he had promised Mayuka that he would always stay by her side. To honor this promise, he decided to avoid Lin Hua completely, even if it meant ignoring his own feeling. Later, Mayuka calls Jian to meet at the playground where they always used to spend time together. She intends to break up with him. She explains that she understood he was there for her when she needed him most, and that everything he did for her was because of the promise he made 2 years ago that he would never leave her alone. Now she realizes that Jian's heart belongs to someone else, and she must let him go so he can move forward in life, while she focuses on her modeling career and moves past her complicated family situation. Jian tries to stop her, but Mayuka says goodbye and leaves. At home, she cries in front of her brother, wishing she could have spent more time with Jian and stayed with him. She also advises Ming to always stay by Sayuri's side and support her. Meanwhile, Lin Hua clarifies with Endo that even though Jian might not like her and she could get hurt in the future, she will not give up on her feelings and will continue to like him. Endo tells her that the day she asked about his crush at the cafe, he was actually talking about Lin Hua, the girl he truly likes the most. He admits he cannot stop liking her. Endo likes Lin Hua, while Lin Hua likes Jian, who is still confused about whether he should be with Mayuka or Lin Hua. The next day, Lin Hua learns from Sayuri that Jian has officially broken up with Mayuka. This gives Lin Hua a chance to confess her feelings, but she hesitates. While feeding her cat at the school ground, she overhears Jian talking to another girl who is proposing to him. Jian rejects her politely and says he will never date again. Even though he has broken up with Mayuka, he is still upset about the breakup and his feelings are complicated. When he hears the cat meow, he goes toward it and accidentally comes close to Lin Hua again, but he leaves without talking because he recently overheard Miyoshi and Lin Hua having a private conversation, where Miyoshi asks Lin Hua if she will give chocolates to someone on Valentine's Day, and she refuses. She shares this with Endo, who decides to buy chocolates for her. When Lin Hua arrives at school, Endo gives her the chocolates and wishes her for Valentine's Day. Lin Hua is nervous and initially refuses to accept them, but he puts them in her hand and says he is giving these chocolates as a friend. In class, her friends Sayuri and Yoon may encourage her to give chocolates to Jian, or else another girl might do it. Lin Hua borrows a textbook from Miyoshi to see Jian. Miyoshi doesn't have the book, so he gives her Jian's textbook. When it's time to return it, Lin Hua decides to give Jian chocolate, but she is too nervous to do it in front of him. Meanwhile, at the cafe, Miyoshi sees Ritsuko calming a crying child by making funny faces. He laughs, and Ritsuko notices, teasing him before leaving. Miyoshi follows her to confess that he likes her, but Ritsuko calls him an idiot and walks away. At the same time, a girl named Mao, who once confessed to Jian, comes to the cafe to see him. Endo stops her from entering and says Jian is not there because he was at station with Lin Hua. He has a big bag of chocolates, which means he received many chocolates today and didn't touch them. Lin Hua gifts Jian chocolates and he happily shares them with her. Later, she goes with Jian and Endo to see cherry blossoms, sharing playful gestures that make her heart flutter. When she removes the cherry blossoms from Jian's hair, Endo drops a lot of cherry blossoms on himself and comes to Lin Hua, but Jian removes them. Then we saw that the school finals are announced, and everyone was excited and happy because they got admission where they want. Lin Hua was also happy because she got admission in same school with Jian. As snow falls, they both feel it and smile. Then we see Lin Hua sitting in class with Sayuri and Yunmei. This time, Jian and Endo are also placed in the same class, which feels like a miracle for Lin Hua. The moment she sees Jian, her heart fills with happiness. Now she does not have to wait for coincidences or lucky moments to meet him. She can see him every day, talk to him freely, and simply stay close whenever she wants. However, Endo is also there, standing between them in more ways than one. After school, Endo excitedly asks Lin Hua to walk with him. He looks unusually cheerful. When Lin Hua curiously asks the reason, he happily explains that since they are now classmates, they can spend more time together. While the two of them are walking and chatting, Mao suddenly appears in front of them. The moment Endo sees her, his expression changes. Old memories clearly bother him, and without saying much, he walks away in frustration. On the other side, Jian is with his friends. Miyoshi tells him that now that Lin Hua is in his class, he should finally gather courage and approach her properly. But Jian remains confused. He remembers the mistake he made with Mayuka. Back then, he stayed in a relationship even when his feelings were uncertain, and he does not want to hurt Lin Hua the same way. This time, he wants to be sure about his emotions before taking any step. Later, at a cafe, Lin Hua gently asks Endo about Mao. Endo tells her that Mao was his ex-girlfriend from middle school and also his first crush. He truly loved her and treated her sincerely. They were very close. But one day, he saw Mao kissing his best friend. That painful scene shattered him. Although his best friend did not know about Mao's intentions, so there was not any fault of his friend, but Endo could never see him the same way again. Hearing this story, Lin Hua feels sorry for Endo, but Endo tells her not to look so upset, joking that if she stays sad, he might hug her to cheer her up. The next day, Mao again tries to talk to Endo at school, but he firmly tells her to stay away. At that moment, Jian arrives, and Mao quietly leaves. Endo then directly asks Jian whether he still believes that Lin Hua likes him. He also asks if Jian would feel anything if Lin Hua started liking someone else. Jian does not answer with words. Instead, during a basketball match, he gives his answer through action. When Endo is about to score a basket to impress Lin Hua, Jian suddenly steals the ball and makes the shot himself. Lin Hua cheers happily, and Endo understands the silent message. We then see a flashback from 2 years earlier, when Jian first joined the school. Rumors spread quickly about him, saying he steals other people's girlfriends and behaves rudely. Despite these rumors, Endo became his first true friend. They spent joyful days together, but everything changed when Mao forcefully kissed Jian in an empty classroom. Endo later found out that she had been using him just to approach Jian. Heartbroken and betrayed, Endo broke up with her and started hating her deeply because she had been his first love. Back in the present, during the basketball game, Endo suddenly collapses and loses consciousness. When he wakes up in the medical room, Jian is sitting beside him. Endo feels frustrated because Jian never properly explained the incident from the past. Endo is angry because he was always silent. But this time, Jian finally apologizes. He admits that he should never have been alone with Mao that day. Speaking honestly for the first time, he feels lighter. He silently thanks Lin Hua because she helped him learn how to express his feelings instead of hiding them. Later, Mao approaches Lin Hua and asks about her relationship with Endo. Lin Hua clearly says that Endo is only her friend. Mao then directly asks if Jian is her crush. Jian happens to be nearby and waits nervously to hear her answer. Feeling shy and anxious, Lin Hua says that there is nothing between her and Jian, and they are just friends. At that moment, Endo arrives and quickly sends Lin Hua away on the excuse of going to the cafe. Alone with Mao, he warns her strictly that if she ever creates problems for Lin Hua, he will never forgive her. At the cafe, Miyoshi happily notices a cute school couple and gets excited. Feeling motivated, he walks up to Ritsuko and once again asks her out on a date. However, she calmly tells him that she prefers older boys and would never date a schoolboy like him. Seeing this rejection, Miyoshi's brother starts thinking about how his cafe is filled with so many one-sided lovers and broken hearts. On the other side, Lin Hua gently explains to Endo that he should not hold a grudge against Jian. She tells him that when Jian was talking to her, he said he could not watch his important friend struggle or feel awkward in front of Mao. It was clear that Jian was talking about Endo, because deep down he still considers him his best friend. The next day, Endo waits for Jian on the way to school, and they walk together just like before. Endo tells him honestly that maybe they cannot become best friends again like in the past, but this time they can at least become good friends. Jian silently agrees, and they enter the classroom together. When Lin Hua sees them side by side, she understands that things between them have finally been sorted out. Later, Suri invites Lin Hua to karaoke at night, saying they should enjoy because Ming is busy doing overtime work at the library. Meanwhile, Ming is seen organizing books when Mao approaches him and cleverly brings up Jian and Lin Hua in conversation. She even learns about the keychain Jian had gifted Lin Hua. After finding out that Lin Hua likes Jian, Mao decides to look for Lin Hua and even sees the keychain herself. When Lin Hua returns home, she realizes that the keychain is missing from her bag. She becomes worried. The next day, the teacher announces a school trip and tells everyone to form groups. Sayuri and Yunmei quickly form a group with Lin Hua. Among the boys, Yutaro and Jian pair up, while Endo and Miyoshi team together. Now they need to join a girls' group. Endo plans to approach Lin Hua, but before he can, Jian gathers his courage and walks up to her. Soon, they all form one group together. After school, Yutaro asks Sayuri if she is uncomfortable being in the same group as him. Sayuri replies calmly that they are now just classmates, so she has no problem. The next day, everyone leaves for the trip. Sayuri feels slightly worried about Ming because his section is different, and he has no close friends there. During the trip, everyone enjoys sightseeing and taking photos. Jian naturally grows closer to Lin Hua while they laugh and explore together. But at one point, Lin Hua loses her way and accidentally bumps into a child who spills ice cream on her. Just then, Jian finds her and gives her his hoodie to wear. She feels happy and warm. As they sit together waiting for the group, Jian starts feeling cold. Lin Hua shyly says he can take his hoodie back or she can warm him. Jian misunderstands, thinking she is suggesting a hug, and almost leans in excitedly. But he stops nervously, and the atmosphere becomes awkward again. Both like each other, yet both believe the other only sees each other as a friend. That's why even very close, they're away from each other. And she thinks even now if they're happy together, then just bows they are just friends. Lin Hua excitedly points toward a place called Enoshima and says she wants to visit it someday. Jian promises they will go there when they return. Elsewhere, Yutaro apologizes to Sayuri for breaking up with her, but she tells him it no longer matters because she is now with Ming. Later, everyone gathers at the final destination and takes a group photo to make the trip memorable. Jian does not join the photo, so Endo stands beside Lin Hua instead. After that, Lin Hua and Sayuri visit a store, where Lin Hua looks for the same keychain, still wondering where hers went. It is revealed that Mao had secretly stolen it. At the same time, Jian also noticed the missing keychain and is searching for a new one for Lin Hua. When the trip ends and they return, they see Ming arguing with a classmate from afar. As Sayuri moves closer to talk to him, she is shocked to see Ming kissing that classmate. The sight breaks her heart completely. Lin Hua and the others try to calm Sayuri down. They explain that maybe Ming was not actually kissing his classmate, and from far away it only looked like that. They suggest that Sayuri should at least talk to Ming once and clear everything properly, but Sayuri refuses. She tells Lin Hua and Yunmei that something similar already happened in the past. When Yutaro was her boyfriend, another girl had taken him away right in front of her eye. Later she found out that Yutaro was dating that girl too. Because of that painful memory, she is scared that history is repeating itself. In her emotional state, she even raises her voice a little. Yutaro then takes Sayuri aside to speak privately. He reminds her that their breakup also happened because they never communicated honestly. She had believed someone else who said Yutaro was dating two girls, but the truth was that he only liked Sayuri. She never came to him to confirm it. Yutaro says he does not want her to repeat the same mistake with Ming. Hearing this, Sayuri finally gathers courage and talks to Ming. Ming explains that he did not kiss any girl. The classmate only had something in her eye, and he was helping her. The girl herself confirms this. Even so, Sayuri asks the classmate to maintain some distance from Ming, and she honestly admits that she feels selfish about him. Ming accepts her feelings and hugs her, promising that he will never leave her. Later, Miyoshi, Yutaro, and Jian are standing outside school. Miyoshi asks Yutaro if he still likes Sayuri and cannot forget her. Yutaro replies that after clearing everything honestly, he feels much lighter and is now ready to move on. Hearing this, Jian decides to meet Mayuka at the playground because he also has not been able to move on after their sudden breakup. When Mayuka arrives, Jian learns that she is moving away from the city. That's why Jian tells her that he always wants to fulfill his promise with her and admits that he feels guilty for breaking his promise of always staying by her side. Mayuka gently tells him not to feel guilty because people naturally change, and she has changed too. She wants him to move forward without regret. After this conversation, Jian finally feels clear in his heart. The next day, Jian meets Lin Hua with a bright smile. They walk to school together, and on the way he notices that Lin Hua is softly singing the same song he was thinking about. They both laugh at the coincidence. Lin Hua feels that the uncomfortable distance between them is slowly disappearing. Meanwhile, Miyoshi asks Endo if there is anyone he likes. Endo teasingly says that if Miyoshi finds out who it is, he will be shocked, but he does not reveal Lin Hua's name. When Lin Hua and Jian enter the classroom together, Endo feels jealous. Jian later calls Endo aside and honestly tells him that he likes Lin Hua. He says this clearly so that Endo will stop approaching her with romantic intentions. Soon after, Mao appears and gives Endo the same keychain, suggesting he give it to Lin Hua so she might appreciate him. At the same time, Lin Hua's friends tell her that many girls in class are impressed by Jian, and if she does not confess soon, someone else might. This time Lin Hua feels confident. She does not want to stay just a friend anymore. She wants to be Jian's girlfriend. Elsewhere, Miyoshi prepares a cake for Ritsuko's birthday and gifts her a keychain. Ritsuko happily eats the cake, but still pretends she has no interest in him. But he sees she ate his cake, so Miyoshi realizes he still has a chance. Later, Lin Hua asks Miyoshi's brother how she should impress her crush and confess. He suggests that on sports day, she should cheer passionately and show her effort. Then Miyoshi comes and confesses to Ritsuko because Ritsuko had put his keychain in her bag. Miyoshi's brother hears him being rejected again and then explains to him that Ritsuko is not ready to date a teenager like him, so he shouldn't try anymore. But Miyoshi was clear that he would still show his efforts because Ritsuko had never dated a teenager before, so she didn't know what Miyoshi could do for her. And this is what he wanted to make her understand, that he will not give up. The next day, Lin Hua signs up for the cheer team and begins practicing seriously. Mao waits for Lin Hua and finally gathers the courage to tell her the whole truth about what happened in the past. She admits that back in middle school her real crush was Jian. Because of those strong feelings, she ended up cheating on Endo and even tried to kiss Jian one day. However, Jian stepped back immediately and did not return her feeling. Unfortunately, Endo saw a part of that moment from a distance and misunderstood the situation completely. Even though nothing truly happened between Mao and Jian, the misunderstanding shattered Jian and Endo's close friendship. They stopped trusting each other and drifted apart for years. Only recently had they started rebuilding their bond, and Mao does not want Lin Hua to unknowingly destroy it again. She explains clearly that Endo likes Lin Hua, and if Lin Hua chooses Jian, the boys' fragile friendship might break once more. After hearing this, Lin Hua feels confused, pressured, and extremely guilty. She never wanted to stand between two friends. Believing she is the problem, she decides to distance herself from Jian. The next day she avoids him, keeps conversations short, and pretends everything is normal. Jian quickly notices the change in her behavior. He gently approaches her and asks if something is wrong, saying he does not like seeing her troubled. But Lin Hua forces a smile and says she is fine. Later, while helping Endo during practice, he suddenly confesses his feelings. He tells her honestly that he likes her and asks what he can do so she forgets Jian. Lin Hua's heart aches, yet she lies and says she no longer has feelings for Jian. She even claims she lost the keychain Jian once gave her and now only sees him as a friend. After saying those painful words, she walks away and cries alone, knowing she is sacrificing her own happiness. Endo begins to suspect Mao influenced Lin Hua's sudden decision. He confronts Mao and tells her that if she still has feelings for Jian, she should admit it openly instead of manipulating the situation. He reminds her that Lin Hua is innocent and sincere. Mao calmly responds that Endo should simply try harder to win Lin Hua's heart, so she naturally moves away from Jian. Before leaving, Endo asks if Mao ever truly liked him. She admits that at first she did not, but over time she developed real feeling. Even so, Endo feels uncertain and cannot fully trust her anymore. Meanwhile, Miyoshi meets Ritsuko outside the cafe. She reveals she is moving to London to pursue her dream of becoming a translator, something she has worked toward for years. That is why she could never accept his confession before. However, she now admits she has started liking him too. Despite their feelings, they both understand their paths are different. They share an emotional farewell and a gentle kiss before parting. Inspired by Miyoshi's strength, Lin Hua asks advice from him, how he moved on from Ritsuko. He says he thought about Ritsuko's good. Then Lin Hua also decides to give up on Jian. During sports day cheer practice, she struggles to lead confidently because her mind is filled with doubt. Some students laugh at her hesitation, but Jian steps in and supports her, giving her the courage to continue. Later, when she sits alone in the classroom, Jian brings her a drink. She thanks him but tries to leave quickly because being near him makes it harder to move on. Jian stops her and softly asks if she is stressed, reminding her that she once said talking helps solve problems. Lin Hua almost confesses everything but instead calls him an important friend. As sports day arrives, Jian tells Endo he plans to confess his love to Lin Hua. He knows it may risk their friendship again, but he cannot hide his feelings any longer. Lin Hua, overwhelmed with emotions, also shares to Coach that before she wanted to cheer up for her crush, but now she wanted to give up on her feeling. That's why she can't focus on cheering up. So when she pushes herself too hard during her cheer performance and suddenly faints, Jian immediately runs to her side and carries her to the medical room. Endo is worried as well, but focuses on his race so Lin Hua will not blame herself if he loses. Later, he discovers Mao was supposed to be his relay partner. He asks that again if she is there due to her planning, but then other injured girl thanks Mao for stepping in when she couldn't continue. Seeing this, Endo apologizes to Mao for misunderstanding her earlier. He encourages her to do her best and win the race so that Lin Hua won't feel bad. As the race begins, Mao runs with all her strength, giving 100%. At one point, she stumbles and falls. Endo immediately cheers her on, calling her name. Motivated, Mao gets back up and continues, eventually finishing strong. They won the race. However, when he looks back, Mao is gone from the track. Meanwhile, Lin Hua faints during her cheer performance. The coach comes to Jian and indirectly explains that he is not the only one unaware of her efforts to impress her crush. He walks away, leaving Jian concerned. Lin Hua regains consciousness, but feels deeply hurt. She asks for some alone time and cries, realizing that none of her plans work. She neither confessed her feelings to Jian nor performed the cheer as she wanted. She feels that she ruined everything. At the same time, Mao is also alone and crying. When Endo finds her, she explains that she told Lin Hua about the boys' friendship, which caused Lin Hua's distress. Endo thinks Mao may have done this to get closer to Jian. Mao reassures him that she never liked Endo initially, but over time she realized her feeling. A small mistake had caused her to lose Endo, and she regrets it deeply. She only pretended to be between Endo and Jian to help Lin Hua let go of Jian, giving Endo a chance to express his feelings and be with Lin Hua. Learning this shocks and also makes Endo happy, knowing the girl he liked in middle school never cheated and was always good-hearted. After sports day, Lin Hua prepares to go home. Mr. Singh reassures her that her feelings and embarrassment will soon normalize, as he had seen students, including Endo, in similar situations. Lin Hua smiles, feeling comforted. As she exits the medical room, Jian stops her and confesses that he likes her. He says that, even if she liked someone else, he would want her to choose him. Lin Hua is shocked, realizing these are the words she always wanted to hear. She feels both nervous and excited, her heart racing. Before she can respond, the coach invites her to the cheer team's closing ceremony. Jian promises to wait for her at the station. Lin Hua heads to the cafe with Miyoshi's brother. Miyoshi's brother advises her not to worry, saying everyone faces problems like this in life, and that she will handle them in time. While Lin Hua sits alone, Endo tries to speak to her but is busy, and by the time he can approach, she has already left. Endo goes to find her. At the same time, Jian, exhausted from waiting, starts searching for her as well. Both boys are eager to talk to her, but Endo finds her first and hugs her. Lin Hua does not feel happy and keeps her distance. Jian watches from afar as they hug, feeling sad and frustrated. The next day at school, Endo is absent, and Lin Hua ignores Jian. Jian goes to speak to Endo, knowing why he is upset. Endo tells Jian that the girl he was with has rejected him, and he feels sad, giving up because he believes he cannot be as kind and devoted as Jian. Jian comforts him, saying he cannot compare himself to Jian, who is more confident and straightforward with his feelings. Jian wants Endo to know that he is excellent in relationships too, showing his strength and care. Meanwhile, Mao meets Lin Hua and apologizes, explaining everything that had happened. Lin Hua assures her she won't interfere with Jian and Endo's friendship and will never tell Jian that she likes him. She then goes to the classroom and sits in Jian's seat. Lin Hua was feeling very emotional when Jian appeared. She tried to run, but Jian stopped her and asked why she was sitting in his seat if she had already rejected him. Lin Hua stayed silent, nervous. Jian felt awkward, apologized, and walked away. Lin Hua got emotional because she realized Jian had done nothing wrong, yet she had caused tension between them. Afterwards, Endo met her and asked if she was still hiding her feelings for Jian. He said that if she wasn't serious, she could be with him. Endo tried to kiss her, but Lin Hua stopped him. She explained that she knew he only wanted that Lin Hua will hate him and should not thought about Jian and Endo's friendship, and confessed to Jian. But Lin Hua doesn't want to make Endo a bad guy in their life, so she stops Endo from doing this. She told Endo she still considered him a good friend, and then decided to confess her feelings to Jian. Seeing Lin Hua leave, Endo couldn't control his emotions and cried. Mao saw him and says now she'll seriously approach Endo because still she likes him, and she will keep persuading him. Meanwhile, Lin Hua ran to the metro station. When she reaches, Metro was gone, and becomes sad thinking she might miss Jian. But when she turned around, she saw him standing there, and he was also waiting for her. Lin Hua finally decided to stop hiding her feelings and tell him everything she felt. Face to face, Jian encouraged her to speak freely later, but Lin Hua couldn't wait any longer. She confessed that she had accepted Jian since the day he confessed to her, but she had not said anything. Jian smiled, hugged her, and they were both very happy. The next day, Lin Hua told her friends she was dating Jian, and they were happy for her. Endo felt a little jealous and was leaving from there when Jian stops him. Endo says he will be fine soon and reassured him that their friendship wouldn't be affected. Meanwhile, Ming and Suri were planning their future after graduation. Ritsuko and Miyoshi were also together. Ritsuko didn't consider Miyoshi her boyfriend yet, but she still had the keychain gift he gave her. Mao was at Miyoshi's brother's cafe, telling Endo she wanted a coffee date. Finally, Lin Hua and Jian walked hand in hand. Lin Hua was happy but nervous, just like when they first met. Her heart beat fast near him. They kissed, thinking this first day of their relationship should never end. They wanted to enjoy this special moment forever.